Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road. Works Minister hires 6S.A.N's 8 lawyers to defend false suit on budget. And now to the news in full. Engineer David Umahi, Nigeria Minister of Works, has engaged the services of 6 senior advocates of Nigeria, 6S.A.N, and 8 lawyers to defend him in a suit seeking information on the 15 trillion Naira budget for the construction of Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway Road. The senior advocates engaged by the works ministers are Abiodun J. Owonikoko, Mahmood Mogaji, Professor J. O. Olatoke, Yakubu Hussein Iruba, Roy U. Umweze, and Emmanuel Esene, while the 8 lawyers are Iche Imo Okim, Chinelo Idoko, J. J. Okechukwu, K.S. Adamu, Esquire O. J. David, A.I. Nathan Mbawike, A.A. Badmus, Francis Okereke, and M.C. Amadi. The names of the senior advocates and the lawyers contained in a memorandum of conditional appearance filed before the court on October 7, 2024. A human rights lawyer, Olukoya Ogunbeje, has dragged the Federal Ministry of Work, its minister, Engineer Umahi, and the federal government of Nigeria before a Lagos Federal High Court seeking an order of mandamus against them. Ogunbeje said, suit is pursuant to sections 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, subsection 5 and 7 of the Freedom of Information Act 2011, Order 34 Rules 1 and 5 of the Federal High Court Civil Procedure, Rules 2019, and order the inherent court jurisdiction and imbued by Section 6 subsection 6b of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ogunbeje in the suit marked FAC/L/MISC/329/2024 is asking for the following release: a declaration that the refusal and or failure of the respondent to furnish the applicant with information on the 15 trillion Naira 700 kilometers Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway Road project, pursuant to the applicant's request application dated 7th of April 2024, duly received and acknowledged by the respondent within 7 days without any written notice to the applicant of reasons, constitutes a violation of the provision of the Freedom of Information Act. An order of mandamus against the respondents compelling the respondent to perform their official and statutory duty, namely to provide information, publication, and or furnish the applicants with the information on the 15 trillion Naira project, 700 km Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway project. Pursuant to the applicant's request, applications dated 12th of April 2024 and acknowledged by the respondent. An order of mandamus compelling the respondents jointly and severally to immediately provide, furnish, or make information on the 15 trillion Naira 700 km Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway project available to the applicants through the applicant's solicitors forthwith. An order of this Honorable Court convicting the second respondent, Engineer David Umahi, as the 14th officer to pay the fine 20 million Naira for wrongful denial of access to information to the applicant forthwith. Ogunbeje supported the motion with a 26-paragraph affidavit. In the affidavit, Ogunbeje made the following averment: that sometime in January 2024, the respondents proposed the construction of 700 km Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway project without recourse to the extant Public Procurement Act and regulations and approval of the National Assembly, and immediately awarded the construction project to High Tech Construction Limited. That the respondents pegged the project to gulp about 15 trillion Naira for the construction of the project, and that the respondents have immediately released the total sum of 1.6 trillion Naira for the first phase of the project, consisting of 47 km, and another 1.6 trillion Naira for the second phase of the project. That the said project has generated reactions and criticism from Nigerians, including the Federal House of Representatives, on the legality and propriety of the Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road project, and that as a result of the above, I wrote a request application dated 4th of April 2024 to the respondents requesting for information on the 15 trillion naira 700-kilometer Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway project initiated by the respondent, and same letter was duly received by the first and second respondents. That the respondents have bluntly refused and failed to furnish us with information on the 15 trillion naira 700-kilometer Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road project initiated by the respondents, and that the respondents also have bluntly refused and failed to furnish us with information on breakdown on expenses and expenditure on the 15 trillion 700-kilometer Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway Road project. Maybe he has pocketed the money, because 15 trillion naira project, and you cannot come and say how you have spent the money, or you can't come and analyze how you spend the money, do a budget, show people how you are spending the money, do a breakdown of expenses. That is difficult for you to do. See how these people are stealing money, calling 15 trillion naira for a project, and you cannot come and make a breakdown of how you spend the monies. How you spend the money is because nobody is going to call them to order. Imagine that huge amount of money, and you cannot come and do a breakdown until they had to drag you to court. Okay, now that's all. That since the 22nd of April 2024 till date, the respondents have failed to comply with our demand application within 7 days, as provided in the Freedom of Information Act, and that the respondents have willfully breached and flouted the provision of the Freedom of Information Act, because he is 15 trillion naira richer, so he knows that nobody will call him to order. Hey, now wow, Olugbenga Ogunbode says, now what for Nigeria? Which one is easier? Is it a secret or a private project? You need public money to execute the project, and you don't want to give details of how much it would cost. It is now easier to hire 100 SANs to defend nonsense Nigeria. Yes, he has enough money to employ people, and those ones too, they can't think for themselves and say, okay, the 15 trillion naira for real, what did you do with the money? But because they've collected their share now, they cannot speak the truth again. How will you collect 15 trillion naira and you do not want to bring the expenses? You don't want to bring a breakdown of how you spend the money. Razak Jirotoye says, it is very unfortunate that government in Nigeria is not about accountability and integrity. For an iconic project of that magnitude, 15 trillion, it behoves the government to be transparent and open concerning all the details of the project. Why must the Minister of Work be engaging a great number of SAN and other lawyers just to prevent all the necessary access to information concerning the project? How can you hire SANs, hire lawyers, because you don't want to be transparent, you don't want to be accountable of how you have spent money? It is because you must have shared the money. 15 trillion naira gone with the wind. And yes, we claim that we don't have money in this country. These people are wicked and heartless. My listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Do not forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.